I think the most common question I get asked in conversations with religious people about religion and its effect on politics and the world comes right after the religious person points out that since I'm not religious, then I really don't have any reason to care about religion. And the question that invariably follows from this is some variant of the question, why is this opposing or debating religion so important to you personally? And for the record, I'd like to give you the short explanation of the situation and ask a question as a way of responding. Okay, so here's the situation. Stem cell research is the most promising branch of biological research for the treatment of most debilitating and painful diseases and injuries known to man. The only reason it's opposed and stifled in the scientific superpower of the United States is because of religious indulgences on morality. The teaching of science in this country is under attack constantly from religious groups taking control of school boards and forcing science teachers to teach biblical creationism in the science classroom, thereby retarding, that's right, I said retarding, science education and endangering the future development of the sciences in this country. The only reason that abortion is as big an issue as it is because of religious indulgences of morality. Every year in the US and around the world, religious politicians attempt to use the Bible, the Quran, the Torah in campaigns or to justify passing laws on economics, women's rights, minority rights, immigration, exclusion of non-religious groups, or even religious ones such as Christians, Muslims, Jews, etc., 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 from politics, and or to claim hereditary rights to a throne, christen a dictatorship, or gain political power. All of these things with demonstrably negative effects. It's been common public knowledge for the last 30 years that the Catholic Church was and still is harboring child abusers, child rapists, and sexual sadists, and aiding them in remaining in the clergy and relocating them so they can have a fresh batch of victims when they're finally reported by someone who's been abused, who becomes more frightened of going to Sunday school or the nightmares they still have than they are of the threats of hell imposed on them by their abusers. The Catholic Church, for all its talk about being a bulwark against evil, or the only bulwark against evil, is a criminal organization dedicated to child rape. Why is this not being pursued by any legal authorities? Oh, that's right, because they're a religious group, and it's taboo to question or interrogate a religious figure or a religious group. In most conflicts around the world, each group is divided along religious lines. Ireland, Sudan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bosnia, etc., etc. Right now, there is a child and or elderly person being accused of witchcraft who, at the very least, will be expelled from their community if, and only if, they're not tortured to death beforehand. This is happening right now because a holy text tells its adherents that witches exist and should be killed. Right now, there's a gay person or woman who has been raped, or a child who has misbehaved, which includes anything from disobeying a school rule to learning how to read, who is in fear of being oppressed, beaten, disfigured, and or executed in the most brutal fashion imaginable because of the imposition of religious rules on a society. Right now, there is a person being infected with HIV or other sexually transmitted disease, which could have been prevented through the use of a condom, but won't be. Why? Because of the explicit religious taboo surrounding sex that prevents proper sex education from being part of a standard school curriculum. Or simply because a holy man told those people, or told one of those people, that condoms are evil. I have friends who, at the time of making this video, will not be allowed to marry the people they love because another person's religion, who is in no way involved in my friends' relationships and will probably never meet them, says that they're not allowed to. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg in modern times, let alone historically. If this were any other phenomena causing these things on the scale that religion does, a disease, a disorder, a political group, a government, an alien mind ray that only affected certain people, anything, it would be universally and unequivocally opposed by everyone not in the group of people doing those things. And every effort would be made to wipe it from the face of the earth like smallpox. My gripe is not with the people, but with the religion in people. It's never what they think it is. Christianity and all other religions that I've ever encountered, no matter their stripe or intensity, only allow people the self-license, or the license, to do good and or bad things for bad reasons. So, in conclusion, let me ask you this. After explaining the situation, as a compassionate, caring, humanist, secularist, agnostic, atheist, and fellow conscious creature, how could this be unimportant to me, personally?
Did you know that?